The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
So, Saturday, April 29th, was a bit of a thing, wasn't it? So this is the story of it all. I am Matt from Oakland Days UK. If you're watching here on the YouTube channel, you'll know the basic story. The A's announced their potential deal to buy a piece of land in Vegas a week ago on Wednesday, just as the team were about to head out on a road trip. Bunch of cowardly weasels that they are, wanting to avoid any scrutiny or accountability for what they do. Had to come back home sometime. They did on Friday, and everyone was out in force with banners, making noise, making their thoughts and feelings very clear as to who is the problem here. It is the owner. He should just sell to somebody who wants to get a Howard terminal done in a local area. But this is where we are. So they had the signs out in the right field bleachers. We've heard from numerous people that on Friday nights, the two TV crews were told not to focus on the signs. But praise the Lord for Ryan Noda immediately gaining himself cult hero status among A's fans for sticking a home run into the right field bleachers, which meant they had to show all of Lascelles and John Fisher Sucks signs. However, when I checked the footage on Saturday, looking at the highlights on MLB.com, I noticed that they had done an incredible Stalinist, communist Russia kind of screw job, basically, in trying to zoom in to crop out all of those signs. So I made a little video about it, put it out there on Twitter, thought this will get picked up by a few people. Didn't realise it would get picked up by quite so many people, and of course so many people getting involved, not least John Boy Media. Thank you to him for pointing it out. It all went off. Absolutely all went off. Everyone was picking up on it, and the end result was this incredible article on The Athletic, where they covered the story, including our tweets, and included a statement from MLB in which they claimed that this was all the big misunderstanding. They didn't realise it had happened, and they had changed the video. So, where does it all lead us? Well, yes, let's say right from the off, no one believes that this was just a mistake. Whether somebody, clearly John Fisher and Dave Cavell aren't standing there over the video editor telling them to do it, but it's an MLB culture of we don't want to show signs of this. We don't want to give publicity to this. We want everyone to cover their ears and pretend that nothing is wrong. The only thing that's wrong is the politicians in Oakland who won't give up even more taxpayers' money than they're already offering, and to try and get rid of all of the criticism by airbrushing it out. Well, that's just not going to fly, is it? We know Rob Manfred, it's his job. He gets paid a lot of money to spout nonsense, to say what's ever politically expedient for the current cause. His comments earlier in the week about how Oakland had never supported the team, how it was unfair that John Fisher was getting blamed, that he is an owner who wants to win. I mean, it's a wonder he can keep a straight face when he says any of this stuff, because everyone knows he's lying. And this is the thing, and I think the power of the video, especially John Boy Media getting involved and putting it out there. People in MLB and MLB fans, they know how MLB works. It's a business. Businesses screw over the little guys. That's how it works. It's not nice, but it happens. What is very clear is that even people who don't particularly support the A's are starting to come around to the idea that, you know what? Maybe the people in Oakland are telling the truth. Maybe we shouldn't believe what Rob Manfred says. Maybe the owner is the issue, and we shouldn't just allow this billionaire to take a team that's been in a city for over 50 years and move them to Vegas so that he can make a load more money. Why not keep the team in Oakland? Have the team be bought by somebody, one of several groups, as the San Francisco Chronicle have mentioned, and The Athletic, who would like to keep the team in Oakland. Get it done at Howard Terminal. An expansion team could go to Vegas and everyone wins. It's not all about just making sure John Fisher wins. And unfortunately, that's how the system is geared. But this past couple of days has shown that we can get something going. And of course, the song we started with, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Well, there are kind of two parts to that line, aren't there? And I know Gil Scott-Heron actually got a bit frustrated about how some people took it too literally. Yes, it is in part about basically trying to squash any public dissent about censorship, which is what we're seeing here. So the idea the revolution will not be televised, they're not going to show it. But the main theme behind the song and the lyrics of that song are not about that. They're about the fact that if you want something to change, you can't just sit at home and stop and wait for somebody else to do it so you can watch it on TV. That's what that song is about. If you want something to happen, you've got to get out there and make it happen. And in our case, there are different ways we can do that. There are things like the protests, holding up the sign so you keep it in the public agenda, doing videos like I did and John Boy and lots of other people will be doing, getting the photos out there, tweeting across social media, on TikTok, on Instagram, wherever you are. Keep pushing that message to make sure it is front of people's mind, because it's very easy for fans of other teams to say, yeah, that sucks, that's terrible. And then they move on because it's not something that affects them. We need to keep the pressure on and keep people to focus on what's really true, which is that it isn't the market that's the problem. It isn't the fan base that's the problem. It's the lack of investment from the owner. And we need to challenge that. But as well as the publicity, there's lots of other things obviously you can do too in terms of politicians and just basically getting the message out there. Whatever you can do to help the cause in a positive way, particularly, let's really stress the positives, how great a market Oakland can be, how there are people here who want to invest, how Howard Terminal would be incredible for everyone if you get the deal right. Make sure you're not screwing over the taxpayers ridiculously like John Fisher wants to do. Get it right and everyone wins. Let's accentuate the positives and give a good impression of Oakland alongside the protests too, and make sure we can make this change and keep liaise in Oakland.
The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.